Tesla's Gigafactories are the many beating hearts of the most valuable automaker in the world. These highly automated and optimized manufacturing plants take the art of building electric vehicles to a new level. In the coming years, as Tesla ramps up their production volume in an attempt to match the global leaders like Toyota and General Motors, the Gigafactories will be the deciding factor in their success. So, let's take a quick trip around the world and check in on the progress being made at each of these Gigafactories. Tesla's Gigafactory near Berlin, Germany came online in March 2022 with the first deliveries of the Tesla Model Y vehicle. The goal of this factory being to generate a local supply of Tesla vehicles for the European nations and reduce the need for Tesla to ship vehicles into Europe from Shanghai, China. Since opening, the factory has managed to ramp up the production rate of their Model Y to around 2,000 vehicles per week as of September 30th. According to information released by the German media, the factory's goal is to reach a production rate of 5,000 cars per week in the first quarter of 2023, which would get Tesla about halfway to the Gigafactory's maximum build capacity, which would be 500,000 vehicles per year. We know that as of right now, Giga Berlin exclusively builds the Tesla Model Y in the long-range and performance variants. These are identical in spec to the Model Y built in California, using 2170 battery cells in a skateboard-style pack structure and incorporating a rear frame gigacasting. Though Berlin-made vehicles do offer the added bonus of exclusive new paint colors. We've actually seen Tesla add Midnight Cherry Red and Quicksilver to their order sheet. These replace the classic silver and red colors. These new paint options look amazing, and there is a definite improvement thanks to the significantly more advanced paint shop at Giga Berlin. As for when we can see the German Model Y upgraded to a new design, in their Q3 earnings letter to investors, Tesla wrote specifically, quote, "We plan to introduce front castings and structural battery packs at Gigafactory Berlin Brandenburg before the end of this year." This new Model Y architecture first appeared at Giga Texas in May 2022 and is labeled as a standard range, all-wheel drive variant. The new battery pack is loaded with Tesla's in-house designed and manufactured 4680 battery, which allows for the structural integration of the battery pack into the vehicle frame, along with that front Giga casting. We know that Giga Berlin is more than ready to go with the front casting sections. In recent flyovers of the factory site, we can see a standing army of front castings stacked up tightly in long rows outside the factory walls. So, the deciding factor will be how many of the new structural battery packs Tesla can export from their production plant in California. Giga Berlin does have plans for their own 4680 battery manufacturing plant on site as well, but it's not likely that we'll see that operational anytime soon. Reports back in September showed that Tesla would divert battery production resources away from Germany and back to the United States in order to capitalize on the new Inflation Reduction Act tax credits for domestic battery production. Now, that's not to say that Tesla has reversed their plans for a Germany battery plant. It's just that the process will continue to be delayed for a little while longer. We know that Tesla is still committed to further expanding their operation in Berlin. The company has been hard at work clearing massive sections of forest to build new infrastructure at the Gigafactory campus. It's reported that approximately 173 acres of forest are being cleared at the north end of the Tesla property. There are indications that Tesla is even preparing an application that would expand their production capacity of Giga Berlin to over 1 million cars per year. And the theory is that this would come in the form of a second factory, half around the same size as the first. But there are also indications that Tesla has plans to build out the Gigafactory campus into a true European hub for the company. There are plans for a large new service and delivery center, as well as facilities for Tesla employees that include recreation centers, training rooms, and a daycare. Also wanted to give a quick shout out to our amazing Discord community. Here is our question of the week, and this was our favorite answer. And Here is the meme of the week winner. Join our Discord community to participate next week through the link in the description below. Giga Texas is Tesla's largest factory, and it's actually one of the top 3 largest manufacturing plants of any kind in the whole world, which is amazing considering how quickly the build came together, going from shovels in the ground to first production in about 2 years. So quickly, in fact, that it's now being alleged by many workers who were involved in the construction that they were forced to work through dangerous conditions and not even properly compensated for it. Allegedly, of course. And when you have such a large-scale job with thousands of people involved, of course, some of them are going to end up having a bad experience. So, not to make too much of this report, but not to ignore it either. Given the size and duration of the project, it's definitely likely that people got hurt, and maybe a few people got ripped off as well. So, what did Tesla receive as a product of all that blood, sweat, and tears? From what we saw at the grand opening, Cyber Rodeo Party in April, this is one hell of a factory. The beauty of having a building so absolutely gigantic is that every step of the manufacturing process is directly integrated and automated under one roof. Model Y production at Giga Texas is coming along pretty well, all things considered. Giga Texas had their official production start come about 2 months behind Giga Berlin, yet according to recent numbers, the American facility has almost caught up to Germany's head start. On October 30th, Giga Texas celebrated 20,000 Model Y vehicles produced. This was after hitting the 10,000 milestone on September 17th, so that tells us that production at Giga Texas is running at around 1,700 vehicles per week right now, which is great, but far short of the numbers Elon Musk was gunning for at the factory opening party. He had said he expects Giga Texas to quickly ramp up to 500,000 Model Ys per year, which would require a weekly production of just under 10,000 cars. The biggest hurdle so far with Giga Texas has been sorting out what variation of the Model Y they are building. When the factory first kicked off deliveries, the product they were making was a brand new Model Y design that used the structural battery pack with 4680 cells and the front Giga casting. These were a limited production vehicle that got sold mostly to Tesla employees and a few random customers in the Austin area. But we quickly found out from Elon Musk that this next generation Model Y design was causing a massive bottleneck in production that was coming from a limited supply of the 4680 cells being manufactured at a pilot plant in California. During an interview with Tesla owners of Silicon Valley in June, Elon admitted that there were so few cars being made at Giga Texas that the factory was just burning piles of money like a giant furnace. This would prove to be excellent practice for Elon's current business venture, where he's managed to incinerate $44 billion in like 3 weeks of owning Twitter.com. But anyway, Tesla managed to work out production slowdown by making a kind of sideways pivot to making the Model Y the good old-fashioned way, with the 2170 battery cells from Giga Nevada and the skateboard-style non-structural battery pack. To be completely clear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that design, and it actually has a higher energy density than the current generation 4680 structural battery, so the customer gets a vehicle with more range, which is never a bad thing. We've got a lot of major developments on the go in Texas that are going to take center stage in 2023. Those are the 4680 battery production and, of course, the Cybertruck. The 4680 battery cell production at Giga Texas is pivotal to the future of the company. The whole point of this cell design is that it will be cheaper, faster, and easier to manufacture at very high volumes. So far, that's not been the case, but the hope is that Tesla will take everything that they've learned from 2 years of work at their pilot plant and then leverage that to build a second generation 4680 production line at Giga Texas, with the capacity to hit up to 50 gigawatt hours of production. That would be around 50% more battery capacity than their current primary battery factory at Giga Nevada. Tesla is already deep into construction of a separate building on the factory ground that will be dedicated to producing battery cathode sheets for the 4680 cells at Giga Texas. This is the side of the battery that contains all of the active metals: nickel, cobalt, aluminum, and manganese. And they are going to need all of this battery production when the Cybertruck finally comes into production next year. As far as anyone can tell, Tesla is still on track to begin producing the long-awaited electric truck sometime in the middle of 2023. And we have pretty solid evidence that the production line is already well in development. There was a brand new Gigapress machine built in Italy specifically for the Cybertruck underbody, a 9,000-ton model that has 50% more power than the existing press machines at Tesla. We know that the new machine was finished and in transit to Austin, Texas. We've also seen recently that new job postings have gone up on the Tesla website that are specific to Cybertruck production. Around November 10th, the Tesla careers page was updated with postings for dimensional engineer, manufacturing operations leader, and senior equipment engineer, all specifically for the Cybertruck project in Austin, Texas. That's as sure as a sign as anything that there is real progress underway. For all of the difficulties experienced at Giga Berlin and Giga Austin, Giga Shanghai has had an insane roller coaster of a year for itself. In the fourth quarter of 2022, the factory set an all-time production record, building 87,706 vehicles in the month of October. And if we extrapolate that out over 12 months, then we end up with about 1,050,000 vehicles per year. This boost in production capability is thanks to a full upgrade of the production line that was carried out over the summer, just as the factory was coming back from several months of lockdowns and restrictions on the city of Shanghai. And the work has been more than worthwhile. Even with a full month of production shutdown, followed by another month of limited closed-loop operations, Giga Shanghai had built 554,778 vehicles in the first 10 months of 2022, a 59% increase year over year. The output at Giga Shanghai in September was so high that the volume actually overwhelmed Tesla's usual strategy of using an end-of-quarter delivery push to hit delivery numbers. Elon Musk said on a recent earnings call, there weren't enough boats, there weren't enough trains, there weren't enough car carriers to actually support the wave. Whether we like it or not, we actually have to smooth out the delivery of cars intra-quarter because there just aren't enough transportation objects to move them around. The result of this was that Tesla China actually built more cars than they had demand for, which is a first for the company. Now, this could be seen as a negative sign in that demand for Teslas might be declining, and therefore they actually had to lower prices. But we have to look at this in context. For one, we have the company's most productive factory by far operating in this market, so there are many more cars to go around than there are in North America. And secondly, China has the most competitive electric vehicle market in the world. Half of all EV sales happen in China. They have more electric car companies than we can even properly count, and the market is so varied that you can buy an electric microcar for about $5,000. So, according to the free market, more competition always leads to lower prices, which is excellent for the consumer, and hopefully we get to that point someday over here with electric cars as well. So, that's where Tesla is at with their global manufacturing operation. Lots of challenges, some struggles, but also some very big wins. I think the takeaway here is that there is so much potential for growth built into this Gigafactory strategy. With these two newest factories in Germany and Texas, Tesla already has everything that they need to grow into an automaker on the same scale as their biggest rivals on the global stage. But when do you think they'll get there? Drop your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, so sign up with the link down below at theteslaspace.com. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.